So today we're looking at several money excuses that can possibly hold you back. One thing I've always said is that when we're in a bad place financially, those situations rarely improve on their own. So if we feel that we're in a rut or things are just not going our way, we have to be proactive and we have to take the first step. Now, I'm not saying that change is easy because we all know that it isn't. But what I am saying is that the things that we tell ourselves and the things that we think can influence our progress. So here's a look at a few money excuses to stop now. And I'd also like to thank Teachable for sponsoring this video. We'll talk a little in a moment about an opportunity that they are offering. So the first money mistake is I can't afford to save. Now, to be completely honest and fair, I 100% understand why people make this statement. This is something I used to say a lot when I was younger, and at the time, I actually believed this. The mistake I made was thinking that I needed a lot of extra money to save, and if I couldn't save a lot, saving money just seemed kind of pointless. I don't know why I felt that way, and to be honest with you, it was probably just an excuse so I could keep spending the little bit of money I did have on stuff that didn't matter. Now, I'm not saying you have to deprive yourself and save every single cent you have, but it is important to save something, even if you have little disposable cash. Saving $5 here and $10 there adds up quickly, and if you can work your budget where you're able to cut back somewhere and save as little as $20 a week, that's over $1,000 a year. Now granted, $1,000 might not seem like a lot of money, but that's $1,000 that you didn't have the year before, and that's money that can really help you get through tough times. So if you're not doing this already, set up recurring transfers from your checking account to your savings account. You can do this every week, you can do it every other week. It doesn't even have to be a lot of money. The important thing is that you're saving something. The second excuse is I have plenty of time to start saving, and this is different from the first excuse because with the first one, that involved not having a lot of extra money. But with this one, you might have extra money, but yet you still put off saving money because you feel that you're young and you have the rest of your life to worry about this stuff. But as someone who used to think this way as a young person, let me tell you, time can quickly get away from you. And if you get into a routine of always putting saving money on the back burner, you might continue to do this until you can't do it anymore, and then you spend years playing catch up. And we can use saving for retirement as an example. If you're 22, you might put it off until you're 25. And then when you're 25, you put it off until you're 30. And the next thing you know, you're 35 and you still haven't started. It is so important to start saving early so you can take as much advantage of compounding interest as possible. Because the difference in saving for retirement starting at 22 and 35 can be hundreds of thousands of dollars in your retirement account. And another thing to keep in mind, and this is something I've always said, but the best time to start saving is when you're young and you have fewer expenses. Because if you wait until you're older and you have more responsibilities, it might be harder to find the extra money in your budget. As I said earlier, this video is sponsored by Teachable, so I want to take a moment and talk about an opportunity that some of you might be interested in, especially if you're looking for a way to earn extra money that can make it easier to save. If you're not familiar with this company, Teachable is a platform that allows entrepreneurs and content creators to build and sell fully customizable online courses. If you join Teachable's Launch Accelerator Challenge, you'll learn how to build out the foundation and key marketing assets of your course in 30 days, and by the end of 4 weeks, you will have published your first course and have it ready to pre-sell. And to help you throughout the challenge, you'll learn from real-life examples, scripts, and templates to see what works so you can achieve results quickly. Plus, you'll receive tips and strategies from Teachable's in-house customer success experts who regularly work with top-tier creators. And if you need a little motivation as you go through the challenge, there's also a community of other challenge participants who can keep you accountable as you progress. So the last day to enter the challenge is on June 1st. It starts on June 2nd and runs through July the 1st. To enter the challenge, you need to be a Teachable Basic or Pro member or sign up for the Teachable paid plan, which starts as low as $39 a month, and I will include a link below. So the third excuse is that I don't need a budget. There is a misconception among some people that you only need a budget or a spending plan if you don't have a lot of money. Now, I will say if you earn a lower income or you don't have a lot of extra cash, yes, having a budget or a spending plan is especially important because there isn't really a lot of room for error, and it is easier for someone with extra money to dig themselves out of a hole. But just because you earn enough money to cover all your expenses does not necessarily mean that you don't need a budget. And to be completely honest, if you're not really saving anything in an emergency fund or you're not really saving anything for retirement, and technically you earn enough to do this, The problem might be lack of a budget. Budgets ensure that you spend a reasonable amount in different categories, and once you start tracking your spending and you see where your money goes, that can really identify areas where you're overspending and areas where you'll need to reduce costs in order to save or hit other financial goals. Another excuse is that everyone has debt, and to be abundantly clear, I am not talking about mortgage loans or student loans. I am talking specifically about credit card debt. I cannot tell you the number of times I've heard someone say,
"Everyone has debt. This is the American way. This is what credit cards are for."
And it usually happens right before they pull out their credit card to buy something that they might not be able to afford. Now, I can't tell you what to do with your money, but one thing I will say is that if you go around telling yourself that I'll always be broke or I'll always be in debt, that can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and that negative self-talk can really take away your power to change things. If you believe that things cannot be different for you, chances are you won't even try. And the reality is, no, everyone is not in debt. Some people are, but some people aren't. So if you don't want to be weighed down by credit card debt anymore, that life is possible. Now, granted, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you believe it's possible, that can motivate you to come up with a plan. The final excuse is that I wasn't taught about money. I've heard this excuse from a couple of people throughout the years. Not too many, but definitely some, and I'm always confused. Now, obviously, I realize that the way our parents manage their money can sometimes influence how we manage our money. And if we don't receive financial education while living at home, there is a good chance that we can make some poor choices in our young adult years. But if you're using this excuse, at some point, you really have to stop using it as a crutch and take responsibility, especially if you know that you picked up bad money habits from your parents. The fact that your parents didn't teach you about money isn't a reason to go through the rest of your life not knowing how to manage it. Because the longer you put off learning the right way to manage money, the deeper the hole you can dig for yourself. So that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. We talk a lot about personal finance. So if you like videos like this, I do post every weekend and sometimes during the week. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a few days.